I talked about this before, but I feel as though I just jumped into a new chapter of life. I feel like it just felt like a shift into a new era in the last couple weeks for me because I feel like I was carrying along these certain ideologies and ways of thinking for a little bit, and I feel like I just recently changed that up a bit. So now my mind frame is different. It's interesting how shit can just flip like that. Like, if you're depressed and unhappy, you probably just need to make a few small changes in the way you look at life. And it's easier said than done, but I don't know. It kind of like you come to a realization and then it just like subconsciously sticks with you. If you're consciously paying attention to how like you think and just being conscious majority of the time, you'll pick up on like the little things that happen that change you in a way. Like it's cool looking back when you can look back and see like all the different things and all the different decisions you made that led you up to being where you're at right now. I remember talking to my friend Wes about like I smoked that bowl. Like I was talking about how like the world is like a lot of the world is fucked up and like we're killing the earth and there's all this war and like segregation and the government and all this bullshit that's fucked up, all this negative stuff that's fucked up about the earth. But he said like with the age of Aquarius and like I don't know how much I buy into the age of Aquarius, but it kind of just does feel right. Like my understanding of the age of Aquarius, like I'm not real big into astrology or anything, but apparently it's like a big shift, like an energy shift on Earth that's supposed to like bring more like enlightenment and like people are gonna start like waking up to the reality they live in, and I feel like it's happen like I feel like it's actually happening. Like if that's my understanding of it. Like I feel like it's supposed to bring like an awakening, like a because they say like thousands of years ago we were in a golden age, like back with like ancient Egypt and all of that. They say that was the golden age, but since then it's been like a dark age. And it does make sense. Like I guess like the last like couple thousand years, I mean, I don't know. Has it been the dark age? Like even when it was like farmers and stuff, like that seems like what we're trying to get back to. Ugh. Ew, what if that means that we just entered the dark age? Ew. Ugh. Cuz honestly, before like governments and like that kind of shit, before like organized civilization, that was like pretty chill. Like the way of life is 10 times a million times harder and like your life is at risk every day, but that was some real shit. Like that was the closest thing to how we're supposed to live. And now in this age, like we've gone so far away from nature in every which way to the point where like it's diminishing. Like the place that I'm at right now has a road in every direction from here, like just a couple 100 feet through the woods. So, ugh. But he was saying, back to my point, but what he was saying was like hopefully the rate of people like waking up and I don't even like to use the word waking up anymore. Like I feel like it's been I don't know, I just feel like it's not it doesn't hit like it used to be. Like 3 years ago when I was way into all that, like I feel like I don't know, I don't want to say I was before the time or whatever, but I don't know. Like I was on all that conspiracy and like that kind of knowledge, like all the conspiracy shit for like a while. And I was like, "Oh, you guys gotta wake up!" Like I was saying all these things, but then I kind of like, I don't know, I got over it, and now that like it's becoming like a trend right now, it's like, ugh, I don't know, I just don't, it doesn't hit the same. Because I remember I heard this one quote about conspiracies. It was like, um, what was it? Oh, the world is just so like the world is so boring that people make up conspiracy theories because they want it to seem more interesting. And I was like, you know what? That's definitely true. Cause like making a conspiracy is not even that hard. Like, cause most people hear about the conspiracy and they don't like fact check it or like do their own research on it. They'll just see like a minute long TikTok about a fucking conspiracy and just be like, yep, yep. Cause conspiracies are fun. Like I fucking love conspiracies. They're fun to talk about, but once you start like really getting into conspiracies, you just automatically believe like you want to believe everything's true. But like you hear a conspiracy and you're like, "Yo, that's probably true." Cuz you see a fucking Instagram post on it and you don't do any more research on it. But I don't know, that's not like conspiracies are fun, but just don't overdo it. Don't overdo it because odds are a lot of them are bullshit. Like odds are a lot of them are bullshit. Some of them are definitely true. Like the fact that, like, imagine none of the conspiracies are true. Like, get the fuck out of here. At least a handful of them are gonna be true. Like my favorite conspiracy, I like the I like the stone ape theory that like we evolved from like monkeys eating psilocybin in the woods when their minds expanding. I believe I like that one. That one's fun. I like that one, and I like. I don't really like. I don't really care about like flat Earth or like moon landing, cause like, what is that? Like, how can that affect my life? Either way, like, I don't really care what shape it is. And some hardcore theorists will be probably pissed when I'm saying that. Like, why does it matter? Because I guess like if we somehow exposed and came up with proof that the earth was flat and like we never went to outer space, that would like people would never trust the government again, and like people that really are into conspiracies are like, we need to overthrow the fucking government. Like I used to literally be like, yo, we need to overthrow the government. Bro, how the fuck are you gonna do that? How how are you gonna overthrow a government? Are we all just gonna get our guns and just like what, start fucking shooting at tanks and shit? Like, nah, can't do it. It'll never go back to like the future, bro. It can never go back to the past. It just can't. It doesn't happen. Shit's moving too fast to go back. Like, what are we gonna do? We don't have a government. We're just gonna get a new government. I mean, I guess that's how they used to do it back in the day, but that was before governments got like this. They got cameras everywhere. Like, they got fucking tanks and nukes and nah, dude. Military, we're fucked. I mean, back then when it was like fucking swords or or I don't know, muskets, you could probably overthrow a government, but nah. They playing on fucking easy mode taking us out. They probably got like fucking robots, like robot assassin cops and shit. Nah. We can't do it. We can't do it. That's a it's just it's never going to happen. So you gotta play the cards you were dealt. Cause, bro, when I was on that, like, that's so negative to think about that every day. Like, oh yeah, we need to overthrow the government. The government sucks. Having to work sucks. Uh, uh, They're brainwashing you. Like all the food you eat is poison. You got fluoride in the water. They're brainwashing you on TV. Like if you start thinking about all that shit, all that negative shit, you're just gonna be fucking depressed. You're just gonna be depressed. And that happens to a lot of people. I feel like you just look at all the fake shit in the world and you're like, oh, bro. Like, cause when you really break it down and realize all the shit that's fake in the world, it's weird. It's a little weird because the only thing that's real is this. Being in nature is the only thing that's like not man-made. Like your phone and shit, like that's another dimension, dude. That's a little nah. Like people could not comprehend an iPhone back then. You could not comprehend that. And now we have it and we just like stare at it all day. Nah. But that's what I'm saying, like you can't you can't think about that negative shit all the time. Like conspiracies were pretty negative for me. That's why I stopped like fucking with them. Cause I used to hardcore believe a lot of that shit, and it made me unhappy, and I didn't even realize until like afterwards, and I was like, damn, wait, I was kind of whack. But I don't know. It led me down the path that I'm on now, so I don't regret it. It happened. It happened for me to be here right now, so gotta take it, learn from it. Like that shit. Like even though like a lot of it was bullshit, I feel like I wasted a lot of time on that. But it did open my mind in a way to like perceiving reality rather like perceiving reality in a unique way rather than how everybody else sees it. I guess it taught me that lesson. But then you apply that to like just like critical thinking about like real shit. Like conspiracy theorists are like, yo, it's not conspiracy theorists, it's critical thinkers. And like I used to say that, dude. I was like, I remember I used to tell people like, "Yo, because I saw this conspiracy about conspiracy. It was like conspiracy theorist. The term conspiracy theorist was a term made up by the CIA to like disprove like people that were like critical thinkers. Bro, that's such a conspiracy that a conspiracy theorist would make up. Like, bro, like, and I actually believe that. I saw that like I saw that and then I was like started telling people without even like looking it up. Like if there was ever a conspiracy that a conspiracy theorist would just make up, that would be it. Like, oh nah. Bro. But it is I just clown him, but at the same like it is critical it is critical thinking. Like this is my point. Like if you apply critical thinking to like the real shit going on in your life, because I think the new chapter of my life, I feel like it's about focusing in on like my physical reality, really mastering my physical. Because I feel like I've been in my head for like the last 2 3 years, been in my fucking head, been on my phone, and now I feel like it's just I just want to worry about what's going on in front of me right now. Like I don't care about what a celebrity is doing. Like I don't care about what's going on anywhere. Like if it doesn't affect me, like I don't want that to sound like I don't have empathy, but like if it doesn't affect me, why should I care? Like if I didn't check the news, if I didn't have a TV, if I didn't have internet, like I wouldn't know any of the bad shit going on in the world. So I would just be in my little bubble, just living my peaceful life. One day I'll be self-sufficient and I'll be able to just like live off the land. That's the goal. Don't have a phone. If you want to talk to me, come to my house. Yeah. I just want to live off the land and just not have a job and just survive on my land, bro. That's how they used to do it back then. And we got all the tools now to make it 10 times easier to do that. Obviously, it's a harder life than just like working a job and paying rent or whatever. Like it's going to be a rougher job than that, no doubt. But bro, we got all the tools, man. Back then they were digging holes with their fucking hands. Now I got a nice ass shovel. Chainsaws, bro. If I had a chainsaw in maybe 2 weeks, I could build a cabin, no doubt. If I had a bunch of gas, like I never ran out, actually, nah, I would need like pulley system too, so I could like raise the logs. I would have to do it under a tree. I would strategically pick my location under a tree. All right, maybe that's not. What if the tree falls on the? I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like a lot of these lessons that I teach myself, like they always come back to balance, dude. Like it always comes back to balance. And I heard a quote like like a couple weeks that like fucking gave me like a crisis. It was like balance is a lie sold to you by average people, and I was like, I don't want to be fucking average, but nah, dude. Like spiritually, like when you break down like problem solution, all these situations, it all comes back to balance. Like if you put too much energy and too much time into like one thing, eventually you're gonna burn out of it. Like you just gotta bro, balance is in every situation too. You just gotta balance. You can't be too far one side, too far like you just gotta stay balanced on everything. Like like thinking about like self-help stuff, like trying to be like the perfect human, like you're watching all these like videos on like self-help. I feel like can kind of be toxic because like you like at least for me cuz I was watching like all these self-help videos and like when I was doing that, I was subconsciously I was comparing myself to these other people. Like, oh, I read 5 books a month. Oh, I got ripped in 30 days. Oh, you gotta work out, you gotta cook, you gotta meditate, you gotta have these routines and schedules. Like, you start to compare yourself to all these different like fucking people, and you're just trying to be the perfect human in like every category of your life, and that's just never ever gonna work out. Like you can't that you can't be perfect in every which way of your life. It's impossible, bro. There's billionaires that are depressed. Like you cannot be perfect. So just gotta balance it out. Balance it out. Like if we're talking about like beliefs, like I guess religious beliefs, I feel like the one thing that really resonates with me is like balance, like yin and yang. That shit like actually makes sense to me because it keeps coming back so often when I reflect on something. It always just comes back to yin and yang, bro. You just gotta balance it out. I really have never cared about the religion to the point where like I don't know, I don't really know the difference between the religions. Like what is like an atheist? An atheist believes that there's like nothing, like you live your life, then you're dead. It's just darkness, and then like there's no higher power. Fuck that, yo, that's ass, bro. Like I feel like that. All right, it's not ass. Like I can see how it could be liberating if you're like YOLO. You only live once, so you just gotta live this life to the fullest. Like I feel like that can be liberating, and I feel like that's the reason why most people are like that with those beliefs. But I don't know. I like to like I don't know what there is, but I just it could be delusion, but I just want to believe that there is something. And I feel like it makes me more at peace knowing like believing that there's something else more than just this. Cause like I sit back and I look at people that have lived like miserable lives, like the billions of people that have lived fucked terrible lives here on earth over its lifespan, bro, if that's their one chance they get, like you got no soul in your body, you're just alive for this life and then you dead. Bro, that's ass. Bro, that's so bad. That's bad. If I'm going to break down what I think it's like when you die, I think so I think karma is another thing that I really believe in. I think karma decides, like I believe in reincarnation. So I think when you die, your soul goes up to, you can't even describe it. It's an unthinkable, like as humans we can't even think about what it's going to be like in the afterlife, but I think your soul just goes somewhere else and then I think you can, like once you die, I think you regain all your knowledge. I think once you die, your soul just remembers all your knowledge from all your past lives and like all the lessons you learned, and I think you once you die, you get to like reflect on your life to see if you like learn the lessons that you were supposed to learn in that life. And then once you learn what you learned from that life, I think you get given another life, like you reincarnate into a body based on your karma. And like your karma builds up. I think your karma follows you throughout your lives. Like if you live like this fucked up life and you have really bad karma in one life, your next life is probably going to be like harder or something. Like I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh, but I heard this one thing that like Hitler, after Hitler died, he got reincarnated into a Jew in the Holocaust, because they also say like time isn't linear in the afterlife, which I guess would make sense. So like when you die, like you can get reincarnated into like the past. I feel like you can. I feel like you can. So like I think when you die too, like all the souls that were like important to you are probably all up there too, and they were like, ah, yo, I don't know. Like that makes, I feel like my version of like life is kind of like a game. It's kind of like a video game. Like you die. It's like in Call of Duty, like you die and then you get like sent to the pre-game lobby and then you pick your next game and then you go back into the game. Like it's kind of like that. I feel like I don't know. It's the most fun version. It's the one that feels the best to me now. I bet I'll have, when I look back on this in 5 years, I bet I'll have like different beliefs, but because I feel like I'm so young. I don't got half the life experience. Like there's people that live 80 more years than me that are alive right now. They are definitely way more wise and know like way more shit than me at 21 years old, but that's how it's supposed to be. You can't stay closed minded. You have to question your own beliefs. Cuz I do that all the time, bro. I do that. I question my own beliefs all the time. And I just keep like switching and upgrading to the shit that I want to believe in for the or from the more research I do, the more things that I hear, the more people that I talk to, the more experiences I have, more things that I see, traveling, like your mindset is going to change on so many things. We are capable of like thinking about and debating so many fucking topics. Like as humans, we have so much shit. Like never in history has there been a species on this planet that's had so much shit to think about. Like we have so much shit and it's all shit. Like go to fucking Walmart. All that shit. Like there's so much shit in Walmart. And back then, we didn't have none of that. If we wanted medicine, we had to go find some natural remedies. If we wanted soap, we had to make it. If we wanted a house, we had to find some clay. We had to get some rocks. We had to chop down some trees. Like that is the hard knock life. Like people back then probably hated it. They're probably like, "Oh, if I could just sit on it." Like if you showed them our lives, they would probably be like, "Fuck yeah, I want to be them." But I feel like I want to experience it. I feel like I want to try to live like that. I got all the tools. Like that's what's cool about having so much shit is you can literally do whatever you want. And there's so much that you can do. Like we have the like people back then, they lived in the same like they didn't travel. I mean I don't know. Like on foot, like if I wanted to go to the Bahamas next week, I could. I literally could. All right. All right, I don't got a passport. But say I had a passport and I wanted to go to Bahamas next week, I would go. I mean, I would have to drop a lot of money on it, but I could do it. You can do whatever the fuck you want. If I wanted to, bro. But I feel like too many people are scared to do whatever they want. Like doing whatever you want is scary. Like that's like it's kind of scary cuz everybody no matter what you think, everybody subconsciously like wants to fit in, I guess. So like that's why the whole last 3 4 generations pretty much when you look at them in a broad like they all did the same things. You go to elementary school, you go to middle school, you go to high school, graduate high school, go to college, get a job, get a wife, get a house, get a new car. Every like 10 years you'll buy like a nice new car that's the same color as everybody else's. You'll get a nice car, nice house, nice wife, nice kids, and then you just have birthday parties and barbecues on Sunday, and then you get to retire when you're 65 and decrepit. And then retirement is really boring because you worked your whole life and then you die. I don't I didn't mean to I didn't mean to put that in such a depressing like hater way cuz that is a very respectable life. It is a very I don't want to take any credit away from the millions of people that have done that because they're probably calling me a bitch right now, and I probably look like a bitch to them because they lived a hard, good life, like raising a family. Like I wouldn't be here right now without that kind of lifestyle or that kind of life. So I'm thankful for all those people, but I feel like just I don't see that traditional like the family past that my family's been going on. I don't see that traditional shit as like doesn't seem good to me really. Like it doesn't interest me. Damn, is this tree about to fall? I don't know. Like you have to do that though. Like there's nothing wrong with getting a wife and kids and a nice house. Like there's fucking nothing wrong with that. It's more just like working a job that you hate for 40 years because you have to pay for your kids and support the wife and pay the mortgage and pay rent and pay bills. So you're forced to work a job that you don't like. I feel like at least for me, that's what I understand that my fucking whole family has done pretty much. Like I don't think I have anybody in my family that really did exactly what they wanted to do. Like I feel like they were passionate about other things, but they just had to settle for the job because it was you have to have money. And I don't know. I'm gonna live something similar because they have to get money. I have to work. Like I have to work a job right now, no doubt. I'm not trying to quit my job or anything. Working's not that bad either. But I guess I just want to be. I want to focus on me a lot more while I'm younger, and then maybe because I feel like I feel like the women in my family all generally had kids pretty young. I think like my mom had me when she was 20, and I'm 21. If I had to have a kid last year, I can't do it. I am not. I cannot do that. I can't believe they did. Can't. Like their circumstances made it so they like that's what they wanted to do. And that's cool. I'm glad because I'm born from it. But hell nah. I want to have kids like 30 plus. 30 plus. Too much responsibility that I think I'll hold back on.